Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you. So this is an opinion video, and I think that a lot of you are going to love this one. So my opinion on whether or not you can run one steroid cycle and then just stop and never run them again. I promise you this is going to be one that everybody's going to have an opinion on and a thought, and that's why I'm doing it. So before we get into that, just a big shout out and thank you to everybody out there supporting the channel. Truly, whether you love me or you hate me, if you're watching, if you're subscribing, I appreciate you regardless. And if you haven't yet, please like, sub, share, comment, whatever you can do. It helps the channel to grow, and it just makes me want to do more, and it allows me to do more. But before we get into that, I also want to give you a little bit of information on letsgetchecked.com, who is our sponsor for this video. Now, if you haven't heard or used them yet, letsgetchecked.com specializes in at-home blood testing. All you have to do is go to the website, pick out whatever test that you want to get. They have it all. They have them for men and women. They have full hormonals, wellness, sexual health. Search through the site, pick out whatever you want. Order the kits. They're going to ship them to you. You got to get online and register them. Provide your sample, ship it back. You're going to get results fast. It's discreet and it's easy. And also, there's doctors and nurses there all around the clock to help answer any questions or the concerns that you have about your tests or any other question. So check them out. It's fast, easy, discreet. Also, as a mega bonus, coupon code Gemelli30 is going to save you 30% off your entire order. So let's get checked.com. Check them out. All right, so let's talk about whether or not you can run one steroid cycle and then just stop and never run them again. So I want to preface this with me even telling you, and this is part of the reason I made this title, I hate the can you question, because I don't give a shit what any of this is. You can do whatever you want. I can't tell you what you can and can't do, and you shouldn't be asking anybody else, can I run this or can I stack these? Because the answer is going to be, yeah. It doesn't mean that you should, but yeah, you can, because you can do whatever the hell you want. So just like I just told you guys there, that's the answer to the question. You can do whatever you want. You can run one steroid cycle and stop. But can you? And when I say, but can you, it's me asking you, can you? Because I'm telling you that you can, but do you think that you can? Because what I've observed is that generally, I swear to you, at least 50% of the people that come in and ask questions about cycles, I only want to run one cycle and I never want to do it again. And I just go, okay. Anymore, I just go, okay. And I'll always say, don't fully expect that, but okay, I'll support you either way, knowing in my head that chances are slim of that. And it's not impossible. I have observed people that do it. I've seen some people that are, they're terrified before they get into it. And there are people that cannot handle anything. And their bodies, whether they're hypochondriacs or whether that's their actual body response, they can't do it. But we're talking in general. I don't speak in 100% because we all know, especially when it comes to something like this, when you've got all of these different kind of foreign substances into different people's bodies, there is no 100% on these. But there are probabilities, there are higher percentages, and there are, where we see the most shift going one way or another in terms of how people respond, react, what the benefits should be. And I would venture to guess out of let's say every 10 person that I say that attempts to do this, one of them to none of them actually do follow through with it. So when you ask, can you? Sure you can, but the chances are low. Just like, can you win the lottery? Sure you can, but what's your probability? I can't tell you the exact probability on running one steroid cycle and quitting, but I could tell you it's a far, 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 far greater chance of you running multiple cycles than not. And I have a video on that I have put out about why people get addicted to steroids, so that's something that you can refer to. But it's a slew of things. When you run a cycle, and I'll just tell you, the way that you feel when you're on the cycle, that's going to be one of the main reasons why you're not going to run just one cycle. Because when you feel the way that you feel, and you feel that feeling of being on, like they call it, which means on cycle, and you have that supra-physiological strength feeling, you have that godlike feeling like you can do anything, you continue to get stronger when you go in, you have far less days of not feeling great. We all know that, especially as we get older throughout the week, you might have 3 solid days, but you're going to have a couple days where it's a little bit harder, especially as you get older, and it's harder on your body, especially as the week goes on. When you're on cycle, the chances of you feeling these things are far, far, far less. I'm not saying you're not going to have a bad day here and there, but they're few and far between unless you're running a cycle with just a ton of side effects and toxicity and things. And even then, you might feel like shit during the day when you're at home, but when you're in the gym, it all comes back for that hour, however long you're in there. So the feeling alone, and then obviously the way that you end up looking for many people out there, depending on how their diet is, what kind of cycles they're running, condition pre-cycle, a lot. But in general, one of the reasons people don't run just one cycle is because what they see that they can actually get their body to look like. Because we all have, some of us can do amazing things naturally. Some have far better genetics than others, but you can do far, far more than you think you can without the help of steroids. But it takes a ton of discipline, consistency, sacrifice. It takes a lot, and you'll be able to get away with more on steroids and get, big results. But it doesn't matter whether on or off cycle. It takes a lot of work and a lot of consistency and discipline, and in a lot of, scenarios, a lot of sacrifice. So you have to keep that all in mind. But it's so hard for people to get results, look in the mirror and see where they were, and then maybe get off cycle for a while, look at an old picture and look kind of where they're at now and go, oh man. Some people hold on quite well, but a lot of people don't for a multitude of reasons. And you look back and go, oh, I got to run another cycle. These are common things that I see all the time, and it's natural and human behavior and thought, and I get it. We're not immune to it. It's controlling it. And attempting to control it when you don't know or understand and make that assumption, it's not a great likelihood that it's going to be followed through upon. Not impossible, just not likely. So, temper your expectation if you think you're just going to run one cycle and quit. Not saying it's impossible, it's just improbable. So that's my thoughts on it. Everybody's going to have a different thought. I've observed and seen a lot over the years. Doesn't mean I know everything, but from what I've seen and observed, I feel like I'm pretty accurate with my assessments. But you be the judge and interpreter of that. Leave your comments below. We'll talk about it. We'll see what everybody's saying. So that being said, stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli, signing off.